Oh, hello everyone. It's Susie from Esoteric Trading Solutions. I haven't been on YouTube for a while. I apologise for that. I was in Holland working on some Udemy courses which we're putting up to the public in the next month or so. Today I thought I'd just cover a little bit of what we did in some of the Udemy stuff, cryptocurrency sectors that I like, and some coins that I actually. It's not financial advice. It's only education only. I'm not a financial advisor, so. And I certainly don't know your risk profile and that sort of thing. But it's just some of the things that I actually look at. Obviously, there's a lot more that I do look at, but these are just some of the things I look at. So just going to the next slide. Cryptocurrency sectors, there's a lot of them. And essentially, there are many different cryptocurrency sectors. And what I'm actually looking for is the sector that I actually like and the coin or token, the best breed of coin or token within that sector. And I guess the thing is, if I split my sectors up according to industry, geographic, exchange-based, DApps, social media, or other sectors, what coins or tokens would I be looking at to invest for a 2 to 5 year period that I believe is going to do very well in a portfolio for investment? So I'm not looking at trading coins. I'm looking actually at investment coins. So some of the industry sectors that I do like are finance, health, supply chain, energy, coins with geographic biases, exchange-based coins particularly that generate revenue, large exchanges like Binance, for example, which are geographical based but also have a lot of clients and are just expanding all the time and actually earning revenue as well. Also, even potentially looking at DApp-based coins and tokens, maybe social media and other coins. Say, for example, do I think privacy coins are going to do well, or stable coins, or collectibles, or artificial intelligence and payment type coins, this sort of thing. There are a lot of different sectors. And say, for example, privacy coins. Privacy coins are one sector that I'm not invested in because I do believe with regulation, privacy coins will be dead in the water. That's my honest belief. And essentially, we've seen that with some of the exchanges that have actually delisted privacy coins. So we go to the next slide, and I look at the different industries, say finance, supply chain, healthcare, and energy. What I'm trying to find is a coin or a token where they actually have a real solution to a real problem. It's viable and it's realistic. It's in the new world of cryptocurrency going forward. And there's an ongoing business that's going to, grow and obviously support its developers and the technology of that coin or token. So say if I look at the finance industry, for example, there's a number of different coins, many different coins. And according to CryptoSlate, there's about 189 coins that fit this profile. And say, I look at Nexo, XRP, Stellar, whatever it might be. Now, out of that sector, I believe XRP is the best technology for that sector. And so for me, from a portfolio perspective, I would be investing in XRP, given where the price is at the moment. Now, say I like supply chain management, and within that sector, there's roughly about 19 different coins and tokens within that sector. And within that sector, I particularly like VeChain out of the other two there. So I'd look at that, as a potential investment. And obviously I do all my analysis and ICO, my analysis of the secondary review and the ICO when it came on and that sort of thing. And the analysis for a coin or a token when I do my research or for my clients could be 30 to 40 pages long. But say if I was interested in healthcare, whether it be in dentistry or medical type healthcare in terms of, people having all their doctor records on blockchain, for example, and it can be across the specialist doctors, across, general doctors and this sort of thing, then I'd be looking for the best coin or token within that industry. And say, for example, if I like energy, and there's a number of coins within energy, say 22 coins and tokens, I might be looking at a number of, say, 4 or 5 to analyze before I actually make an investment decision about which coin or token I particularly like. So there is an awful amount of work involved when we decide what we're going to actually invest in terms of a cryptocurrency coin or token. and obviously the business has got to be viable, it's got to be ongoing. The relative value of that coin or token to its peers is another thing. How much supply do they have? How much demand? Is there a real problem? And is there a real solution to it? And it's an actual viable solution and problem. And I think that's fairly important, certainly for what I look for within an energy portfolio. And as you know, there's well over 2,200 cryptocurrency coins and tokens. So there is a lot. But the way I looking at investment, I will look at the sectors that I believe will grow, and then obviously I'll try and hone it down to specific cryptocurrency that that I like in terms of my own analysis, and that's quite a bit of work as well. So going to the next one, also essentially, if we have, say, coins on a geographical and best sector, then if we see them in other splits, then that gives me also confidence that I'm going to invest in that coin. Now, to give you an example of that, just to go back, say I believe that XRP is the best coin within the finance sector, and under the geographical, XRP is basically almost going global. So it's actually, looking at getting into India. It's obviously all over America. It's looking, in other exchanges. It's got quite a lot of exchanges where the coin is actually listed. It is a global cryptocurrency. So for me, that's a really good story. It's in Europe, it's in Asia, it's in the US. So that would get another tick from me. If I look at VeChain, for example, again, geographical, it's in China and Europe, that would get a tick from me. If I looked at, say, social, again, there's 7 coins and tokens within social and entertainment. I'd be looking for something that's global, that's, on its own mainframe, for example, like Tron, is getting a lot of mileage in terms of the coin, in terms of the exchanges that it actually sits on. And, in terms of relative value, is still quite cheap as an entertainment type coin, around, 0.02 cents, for example. Also, I'd be looking for other sectors which are fairly new, cryptocurrency collectibles, which is a specific sector in itself, possibly artificial intelligence, and just hone it down that way to give you an idea of how I actually will select a coin or a token within my own investment portfolio. As you know, the exchange coins have run, and these are something that I've been invested in for a while. Binance particularly, Huobi and QCon. Again, these are exchanges that are actually actively generating revenue and have many clients, and are actually, creating a lot of revenue, and are basically, all over the world and expanding. Certainly Binance is everywhere at the moment, in Africa and Asia and everywhere else. And certainly we're seeing that with Huobi in Australia and globally, and certainly with QCon. Now, the thing is, with also an investment portfolio, I would never, say, for example, have all my coins and tokens sitting on, for example, the Ethereum platform. So if something happened with Ethereum and Ethereum went down, I wouldn't have all my coins and tokens exposed to Ethereum if that platform went down. Say, for example, all the ICOs that actually went on Ethereum's platform. So it's about mitigating the risk, but also I'd look at correlations between different assets. Now, Bitcoin dominance is still around 50%, and correlations have changed, and we've seen that particularly with XRP over the last couple of years. The Bitcoin correlation with XRP used to be 80% positive correlation. Now it's down to about 60%. So in other words, if Bitcoin goes up or down by $1, XRP used to go up or down by 80%. Now it's going up or down by 60%. So these are all the things that you've got to take into account when you look at deciding about which coins and tokens you're going to invest in terms of an investment portfolio. And it is quite a hard, arduous thing to do to make a proper investment decision, doing all your research, your fundamental research particularly. So if we go to the next slide here, even with DApps, if I was looking at DApps as a viable investment opportunity, what DApps would I look at in terms of, usage? And don't forget, you need usage of a coin or token generally for the price to go up. And also you'd be looking at supply considerations and that sort of thing. Now, as you can see by this DApp ranking, there's not a great deal of usage within DApps at the moment. So again, I may not look at that in terms of my own investment portfolio. I'm looking at coins and tokens that are going to have massive use of going forward, and that I believe are going to have massive growth going forward. So in terms of social media, you might decide you want to buy social media coins that are on platforms or games or other. And again, you know, there are a lot of social media coins of 67 coins at the moment, according to CryptoSlate. But again, look, there's many other types of coins. You may decide within your own investment portfolio that you think privacy coins are going to do well. As I said before, I don't believe that. You may believe that stable coins are going to do well. Another sector of the cryptocurrency market. Another one that's growing certainly is collectibles. And again, something like Engine, for example, one of my clients was actually invested in Engine, and that was around 3 cents when I was looking at that. And it is a collectible, and all of a sudden Samsung invested in Engine, and the cryptocurrency price went from 3 cents to 18 cents. You know, you might decide that, you know, artificial intelligence is the way to go. And of the artificial intelligence, I quite like Neuronation. But again, there are enormous amount of cryptocurrencies to look at. And honestly, even in terms of artificial intelligence, we're looking at 48 cryptocurrencies. Stablecoins, we're looking at 19, privacy 44, gaming 80, and it just goes on and on and on. So you can only basically look at so many cryptocurrencies clearly. So just looking at terms of cryptocurrency, where do we start? How do we start evaluating a coin or a token? And as I said before, I have alluded to a genuine business case, a genuine problem with a genuine solution. Obviously, the teams are important. What is the skill set of the team and their expertise? Do they sit on LinkedIn? Do they have the necessary skill set and expertise to actually make this cryptocurrency work in terms of its technology? Do they have the skills to say what they can do, which is really important? Again, do they have the business acumen and the skills to complete the project in terms of the roadmap, for example, and keeping in mind that roadmaps are not audited. So this is really important, because the team's expertise really makes or breaks a cryptocurrency in terms of what they say they're going to do in terms of the technology. Another thing you might look at is also the framework of the business, the structure of the business, if it's a not-for-profit or if it is a profitable business, because going forward, how are the developers going to get paid? If it's not a profitable business, you've got to think about how is the technology going to be maintained in the bigger picture. Because if there's no money coming into the business, you've got to question how are they going to stay in business, and how do they make sure they've got the best of breed technology. Another thing you might want to consider looking at is the investors behind the business. Now, often if there's really well-known investors behind the business, like Tim Draper or Patera Capital, that gives you confidence and credibility that large, high net worth, professional investors are actually invested in the cryptocurrency and the token. Another thing too, you might look at how many holders of the cryptocurrency as well, and also what exchanges they sit on, because you need to know whether they're liquid markets and whether you can get in and out of those markets quite easily as well over your 2 or 3 year period. Many other things to look at, obviously legal jurisdiction. Where does the cryptocurrency team sit? Where is the ICO sitting? Where is the secondary coin obviously trading, as I said? But again, you might have a restriction on your investment portfolio only to invest in initial coins or secondary coins that are actually regulated or actually sitting in, say, the US, where there is some form of regulation, not much at the moment, but they are starting to pick up erroneous white papers and roadmaps and things, and also coins and tokens that look a bit fraudulent. But there's so many other things too, global reach. You know, again, looking at, say, something like Ripple, they sit on the Fed member board, they're in partnership with Bill Gates. There's just so many other things to look at when we talk about business evaluation. And it's an ongoing thing as well when we talk about coins and tokens over a 2 to 4 year, 5 year period. And as I said, the use case is very important. Does the technology work? I mean, how many times have we seen technology not working? And clearly, if technology doesn't work, then you've got to ask yourself, how is this cryptocurrency coin going to go up? And what are the risks in terms of the coin or token? Does the coin or token sit on an exchange in Mongolia, for example, you know, where it's a small exchange with no capitalization? It could be hacked, or it could go down the gurgler at any time. Again, there are just so many different questions that you need to ask yourself when you're looking at investment portfolio with cryptocurrency. And as I said before, check out the team. It's really important. You know, what's the advisory board? What's their experience with previous cryptocurrencies? How are they being reimbursed? Do they have lockup with the coin or token? In other words, is there a contract or a time to when they can sell their coins and tokens? Because you don't want to invest in something where the founders or the development team can go and sell a token or coin as soon as it hits the market on the secondary market, and then you find the coin or token goes down, because that implicates that they're not here for the longer term as well. So all these different things are so important. There's so many other things to look at when we talk about the evaluation of a cryptocurrency coin or token. As I said, framework's very important as well. And, you know, what's really important also is looking at the website, looking at the company, examining the roadmap. Are there any financials? Are there budgets? Are there sales or marketing? What makes me laugh every time is they say, you know, they say we're going to, you know, sell this to wherever or market it somewhere else, but they never tell you who their targeted client base is. How are they going to get the users to use the technology, to use the coin or the token? It's really, really important to look at that. Also, you know, what are the administrators like? Are they in harmony with the developers? Now, we saw this with EOS. EOS, when it came to do its own blockchain, there was a whole toing and froing between the administration and the developers, and the technology didn't work for quite a while on its own mainframe. So there's so many different things to actually look at. Again, as I said, investors are really important. And again, you know, it gives you some, you know, solace or some conviction that you've got some high, you know, high profile investors within a coin or a token, which is a tick. Again, legal jurisdiction is pretty important. Competition. What's the competition like out there? Is there partnerships, mergers, acquisitions? Do they have clients? Again, you know, what's their sales plans? How are they going to get people to use this technology, you know, and to basically generate revenue at the end of the day? I mean, there's so many different things to look at. Again, SWOT analysis, strength, weaknesses, and analysis of a coin or token. You know, what's its correlation and how is it diversified with its peers? Is it expensive relative to its peers? You know, who are the major holders of this coin or token? You know, can they be whales and sell this coin or token down? But these are just some of the things that I look at when I'm analyzing cryptocurrency. You know, technology metrics, you know, quantitative, qualitative, how many nodes they have. Is it like NEO that only has 7 nodes and could be prone to a 51% hack of the network, because it's very easy to get 51% control over NEO's technology because they only have 7 nodes, when we compare it to, say, a Bitcoin or an Ethereum that has, you know, 12,000 nodes. Okay, so there, you know, there's a lot going on, and you know, all sorts of things you need to look at when you're evaluating cryptocurrency. And this is just a small piece of what I look at when I'm valuing cryptocurrency. We do have your demo courses going forward, which there's going to be a lot more detail about these sort of things, but these are just some of the things that, you know, I think are important. Anyway, guys, nice to talk to you again. I hope you're all well, looking after yourselves, living your life, being kind to yourself, being kind to your friends, being kind to your family, being kind to your putty cats, and just making this world a better place. Thank you.